What's up, YouTube? Back with another video, and today I'm just gonna give my impressions of 2K25 so far. Game's been out for about 2.5 weeks now, and I've gotten a lot more time with the game. I've played quite a bit of Park and Rec. I've played some Pro-Am, some Proving Grounds. I've played some Play Now Online. I've played, against the CPU offline. And also people have been asking me about, my thoughts on the game, asking for advice and tips, especially when it comes to shooting, which we'll talk about a lot in this video. But yeah, so far, I like the game. But there are a few things that has the community divided, and the biggest thing right now is the shooting. And when I first started playing, I really didn't like it too much neither. But, after playing for a while, I kind of don't mind it. My biggest problem with the shooting is that it affects all the modes. And so 2K has been doing this for years now, but they will completely overhaul a certain mechanic or change how something works, mostly because of the park and the mod players. And when you allow people to, basically create their own player, they have complete control over the attributes, the badges, the animations. They gonna find some broken stuff. So 2K always has to change the way they do things as far as when it comes to them making the game. And so this year they completely changed how shooting works, because people be shooting upwards 70 to 80% from three, which is ridiculous, and basically greening every shot. And 2K kind of didn't want that. They also wanted a way to kind of stop the cheaters as well, so that did play a factor in it too. But there's also people that play the game that didn't want that neither. And so now shooting is completely different than what we are used to, which to me, again, I don't mind it for Park. But if you play now, or my team, or, offline, is you don't have the same amount of control over the attributes, the badges, the animations. So why are we playing under the same circumstances? So that's the thing that I don't like. And on top of that, I'm also a little confused too, because they try to, they always try to do things to appeal to casuals, or just not make the game too hard. But if the best players on the game are shooting 50% from three, what do you think a casual is gonna do? And on top of that, they completely changed how a lot of things on the game work. So they completely changed dribbling. Now you have this new shot cancel system where you can chain moves a lot more fluently and effectively. So shot creation is completely different than what we're used to. And if you really learn it and get whatever animations you want, or just learn how the system works, you can come up with some really good combos and create shots a lot differently than you used to. You added go-to shots, changed the contest system and how it works, but what's the point of all of it if you can't make a shot? And so with all these changes, you would think that you would want to make shooting not necessarily easier, but you wouldn't want to discourage people from shooting the ball. But that's what's happening to a lot of people, especially on the Play Now side. You'll have games where people are allergic to shooting the ball at all. You can walk away from them and they still won't shoot the ball. Or you'll have games where somebody will play zone against you, not necessarily because it's the right thing to do for the matchup or just the right thing to do at that time. They're just playing zone because they know shooting is just kind of broken. And on top of that, you still got the different release cues jump, set point, push, and release. But now you also have these different risk reward systems. So now you got high risk, normal risk, difficulty based, low risk, real player. That's gonna confuse people even more now. And on top of that, there's also inconsistencies within the mod player modes themselves too. So in the park, or the city, whatever you want to call it now, I shoot 48% from three, which is not that bad considering how the game is right now. And on top of that, I only have a 78 three ball with silver spot up specialist. I mostly take catch and shoot, so I guess that's not that bad, even though that's the lowest that I've ever been in the last however many 2Ks. And in the rec, I'm around the same at 50% on similar volume. But when I went into Pro-Am 3v3 and 5v5 Pro-Am, it's I couldn't hit a shot. And in Proving Grounds, it was about the same as the Park and Rec. But, other people, they have different experiences. I know my friend Jay Light that I'm playing with right now. In the city, he's good. In the Rec, he's 50-50. Sometimes he hits and sometimes he doesn't. We played Pro-Am, bro could not miss. We got into Proving Grounds and he started bricking. I don't know. So shooting, does have its problems, but I feel they shouldn't mess with it too much. For Park anyways. And I noticed a lot of my park games or some of my, rec games or pro games, like they're a lot less predictable, but not in a bad way. Like in previous 2Ks, you could go into a game knowing that each team is going to hit like a certain amount of threes. Each player is going to make shots no matter how good or bad they are. Like they're going to get open at some point and they're going to make the shot. But now it's not like that. Like you don't really know what to expect from yourself, your teammates, and your opponents from game to game. Like sometimes you will hit your shots, everything is good. Some games you would be bricking. And same thing with the opponents. Like you might go against somebody that really got their shot down and it's like, he was just hitting that game. And then you might go against people that really can't hit. And so like games, like I said, don't feel as predictable as they used to. And like you're never really out of a game now. Like I've had some of the craziest comebacks that I've ever had in the past like 5 2Ks. I've had more crazy comebacks in the last, week or two that the game's been out than I had in like I said, the last 5 2Ks. Just because like, if someone's wide open, that doesn't guarantee they're gonna make the shot. And so if you're able to string together a few stops, maybe get a couple easy leak outs, and then, you or your teammate hit a big shot, 1 or 2 big shots, like you could get back in the game and potentially even win. Like I said, I've had some crazy comebacks so far. And it also kind of changed how I approach like the game to some degree, and especially like certain situations. Like the last few 2Ks, it was always take the 3 over the 2. Like if I had an opportunity to get a wide open 3 or a wide open dunk, I'm taking a 3. That was in pretty much every mode. Park, rec, play now. I'm taking the open 3. Just because of how shooting was. But now, like, sometimes I'll be having to rethink that. Like, maybe I should just take this easy too, because that 3 is not guaranteed anymore. And so I don't necessarily consider that a bad thing. They do need to make some adjustments to shooting, but like I said, just like not too much. Because if you like overdo it to the point where it becomes like the older 2Ks where everybody's just greening, then I feel like we're gonna have another problem on our hands. Because the contest system right now is like, yeah, people kind of complain about it a little bit, but since you don't make as many shots as you used to, people are not saying too much. But it's like last year you had a problem where a lot of shots are contested that shouldn't be contested, but this year there's a lot of shots that should be contested that are not contested. So if you change shooting to make it like, more consistent or more on par with how it was the last few years, you can't keep the contest system how it is. You got to change it and make some adjustments to it. So like, it's not as simple as just, make whatever they try to do. Pure green windows bigger, whatever they try to do to make shooting more consistent, because it's going to cause like a domino effect. I do think they need to fix high risk though. I feel like it's just not rewarding at all. If anything, you're at a disadvantage if you're using high risk. I feel like if they were going to make any adjustments to shooting, that's what I would start. Start with fixing high risk and kind of like move on from there. And so, yeah, I did plan on touching on some other aspects about the game in this video, but this video just ended up being about shooting. So I might just end up leaving it here. But briefly, just a couple other things I hear people talking about. Skill-based matchmaking in unranked modes, I don't agree with. I don't like it in COD. I don't like it in Apex. I don't like it in any other game. Skill-based matchmaking should only be for ranked modes. If it's unranked, it should just be whatever. Sometimes you might play against some sweats. Sometimes you might play against regular people. Sometimes you might play against some bots. It's just what it is. But skill-based matchmaking should only be reserved for ranked modes. Real player percentage of layups. Like, be for real, 2K. Turn that off, bro. Turn it off, please. Lane steals. Don't touch them. Leave them how they are. They kind of OP sometimes, but me personally, I say keep them where they at. And contest system, I do think the contest system could use a slight buff. Nothing too crazy though, but like I said, there'd be a lot of shots out there that should be contested that don't be getting contested. That goes for the perimeter and in the paint. And as far as Play Now Online, that might be a whole nother video. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. As always, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content.